Hello, everyone. Today is a beautiful day outside, and so I want to head outside today, but I wanted to go live and to talk to you really quickly, and I wanted to give you a success strategy for you to be able to go plant-based. If that's what you desire for yourself, to become plant-based, to understand the plant-based lifestyle, then this live is for you. It's for anyone who desires to go plant-based, desires healthier habits, and does not understand how to start doing that for themselves, what to do for themselves, or why. This live is for you to understand that the first thing that you have to do is understand that what we're doing currently right now is not supporting us, and it's not supporting your body. It's not keeping you healthy. And so in order for us to be healthy, we have to get back to the basics, which looks like you living a plant-based lifestyle. Now, everybody is not going to stay there. You might develop these habits, you might, develop healthier habits and stick with them, but you might not necessarily stay in the lifestyle. That is my recommendation, is for you to stay in the lifestyle, because I have lived this lifestyle for over 3.5 years and I don't see myself going back. But that's not everybody's journey. What my goal is for you and to help you to be able to do is to get in the lifestyle, understand the lifestyle, have a stable and set foundation. And since you have that stable and set foundation, you can always fall back on it if you do lead your lifestyle back into eating meat, eating dairy, or whatever else, because we have to understand the way that this world is going and what's going on with our life and how society looks and how society feels. We look at everybody and they're overweight, they're overworked, they're completely tired and fatigued. We're sitting here developing all of these issues like heart disease, we're having diabetes, we're having early insulin resistance. Like, we're sitting here having all of these issues going on inside of the body and not realizing that the reason why is because we are sitting here not taking care of our body and giving our body nutrients. We're sitting here poisoning ourselves with the products that we use and the foods that we consume. And then we're sitting here not knowing how to properly reset our body to get back to a space to support us in being healthy. And so that is what a plant-based lifestyle is going to help you to be able to do, is to understand how to take care of your body and understand how to support your body so that you can get back to being healthy. Because as a person, you deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be taken care of. But society has treated us like a consumer more than somebody who is a person. We're treated as a dollar sign. And since we have been treated to be a dollar sign, we don't even realize that we have been deceived and we have been tricked, and so many generations have been tricked and deceived that we're passing these curses along generationally. We're passing dysfunction along generationally. And that's the reason why none of us know how to take care of our body properly. None of us realize that our body is a healing vessel and it should always be healing. And so if you don't know and you're just now joining, I am a plant-based lifestyle strategist. My name is Kendra, and I am here to help you to be able to understand how to live a lifestyle of you being healthy, support your body in being healthy and healing, and understanding that your body is designed a certain way, and if it's not doing its design, then something is blocking it and something is harming it, and something looks like you sitting here consuming and not being aware of what you're consuming, not knowing the toxic ingredients that are inside your food, not knowing the toxic chemicals that are inside your food. And so you have to understand that if you want to support your body, if you want to do better for yourself, and if you know that you deserve better, it's time for you to take action so that you can be better at what you're doing. And so today, I'm going to give you a blueprint that's going to support you in understanding how you can and you will be able to live this lifestyle and to develop it and do it with ease. And so if you don't know already, I post all of my lives on YouTube if you've missed any of my lives. And so you can check that out. And don't forget to follow me on all my social medias if you haven't already, just in case TikTok goes away. And so the first part of our strategy is our A. This is going to be our ACT strategy. It's going to be ACT. So the first part is our A, which is awareness. And awareness looks like you first understanding and acknowledging the fact that we don't know how to take care of our body, and we haven't been for forever. Honestly, majority of society fits themselves in this little box that is normal, because that is what they tell us to do, is to put ourselves in this box that is called normal. And so what's normal to our society is consuming toxic ingredients and not knowing what's going on inside of our food, and then also not being aware of how we're poisoning ourselves. And so we have to become aware and acknowledge the fact that we are not taking care of our body by consuming hot Takis. We're not eating the hot chips, drinking Sprite, sitting here all this programming, eating McDonald's, Burger King, all of these places. We're not taking care of ourselves. And we know that it's junk food, and we understand that. But we have to take what society has deemed as normal and start to remove that and to realize that it should be treated just like bleach. You going out and getting things that have red dye in it, have titanium dioxide, have sodium phosphate in it, have all of these different things in it that are literally toxic and poisoning your body from the inside, should be treated as the same as you going to get bleach and sitting there considering that as a snack. You have to understand that these things are not supporting you, and you have to be consciously aware. And so awareness is a part of you acknowledging what's going on, be consciously aware of what you're consuming, and understanding that you are consciously poisoning yourself with the toxins that you are consuming. And so now it's time for you to educate yourself and to remove yourself from the programming that we have been taught from peers, society, family members, and remove that and take that and start teaching yourself the habits that you need, reparenting and reprogramming the habits that you want for yourself, which are healthier habits. And if you are at the space where you know that you want the education for yourself, you want to be healthy, and you deserve to be healthy for yourself, I can support you in doing that, because I lived a plant-based lifestyle over 3.5 years, and I will not be going back to the life that I was, because I healed myself from asthma. I supported myself in getting back to a space of no longer being inflamed on the inside. I had knee pain in 6th grade. I was sitting there in middle school with knee pain. Honestly, 5th grade it started, but I'm sitting there in 6th grade having to wear a knee brace. I'm having to get a copper tone brace. I'm sitting there struggling, trying to figure out what's going on. By 18, I was told I could no longer play sports, or I was going to have knee surgery by 22. So like, understanding that my body was completely imbalanced, I was having painful menstrual cycles, like all of these issues going on, not realizing that the food that I was consuming was literally poisoning me to the point where it was making me toxic. And so regardless if you're a male or a female, we have to understand what we're consuming and what we're eating and what we're putting inside of our body, and be consciously aware and choose to stop poisoning ourselves. Because like I said, you should view that food on the shelf, those hot chips, those Lucky Charms, all those foods with dye in it, sodium phosphate, titanium dioxide, you're sitting there with citric acid that is made from mold, should be the same thing as you going and you getting some Clorox and sitting there wiping it across your tongue. Like, you have to stop consuming junk just because they tell you that it's normal and that it's okay, because it's not. And so we have to realize that it's a commitment for ourselves. So we've gone through our A, and the C for our strategy is commitment. And so commitment to ourselves looks like us accepting the fact that we're going to have to change, and accepting the lifestyle that we want, and making goals for ourselves. What do we want for ourselves? Do we want to be rid of diabetes? Do we want to support ourselves in healing? Do we just want to be mentally clear, because we need mental clarity? Because if you're sitting there eating a bunch of junk, you do not have the mental clarity or the mental capacity that your brain could be at, because you're malnourished. If you're sitting here eating a whole bunch of junk, you're sitting here eating inflammatory dairy, you're sitting here eating GMO meats, because if you're eating out, they don't have to tell you if it's GMO or not. You are sitting here poisoning yourself, and you have to accept the fact that we are going to have challenges through this lifestyle change, but you're going to embrace the fact that you're taking care of your body, and we're supporting ourselves, and we get the chance to start healing again. Because if you are releasing the way that you should and resetting your body how it needs, then you are helping yourself get back to a space of healing, because your body is a healing vessel. That is your body's design, if you don't know. And doctors never tell you that what they're giving you can heal you. They never tell you what they're doing for you is healing you. They can't claim that, because they know it's not healing you. It's just pacifying the situation, putting a Band-Aid on it, and sitting here struggling until you get another symptom developed. So you have to understand that if you are in a space where you're consuming unawarely, you are leading yourself to inflammation, disease, and you are sitting here making yourself develop illnesses earlier and earlier, and then leading yourself to having cancer. And so we have to get to a space of accepting the fact that there's going to be challenges to this lifestyle. There's always going to be challenges. But through the challenges, we are making a commitment to address them, and a commitment to address ourselves, to address our health, and to take care of ourselves. And so if you are at the space where making that commitment seems impossible to you, if you were at the space where you're like, I don't even know where to start, I don't know what to do, all of my free content on YouTube will allow you to be able to know where to start and how to help you, and to understand where to basically just the foundation to understand where to go. But if you are at the space where you're like, okay, I know that I need this help. I know that I need, one-on-one strategies. I need support through this. I need some kind of accountability. I can support you in doing that. And right now I do have an amazing bundle that is going on that if you book a one-on-one with me, you not only get my Purge the Poison ebook that is going to show you common toxic ingredients that are inside your food, but you're also going to gain access to my Foundation to a Plant-Based Lifestyle masterclass. And that masterclass is showing you what's going on with our food, understanding why you need to switch to the lifestyle, and showing you different steps that are going to help you be able to get the foundation to start living the life that you need. And then with that one-on-one that you're booking with me, we're going to go through a strategy after you watch that masterclass to support you in getting in the space to know how to adapt from where your lifestyle is now to get to the space of adapting where you can change and you can switch and do it with ease. Because I started the lifestyle and I was by myself. I didn't have anybody that was living the life that I did. And so I was doing a lot of research. I was educating myself. It was trial and error. I had a lot of issues that, things that weren't working. Was eating processed foods that weren't supporting me, not really understanding my ingredients or knowing how to read them. And then I got into the space of educating myself more, got deeper into it. I started in 2020, but by 2022, I was plant-based. And so it took some years of me educating myself and learning and knowing what was going inside of our food and keeping up with the GMOs and everything else that made me realize that this was the only lifestyle that was going to support me. And then reading scripture and understanding that, like, first of all, we're misusing and abusing the animals when it comes to eating meat, and not understanding how meat was used in the way in biblical terms, and understanding how meat used to be basically a celebration rather than just something to consume every single day like we do, because we consume meat every single day now as a society. And so not only understanding that we are mistreating our bodies, but we're misusing the way that we're supposed to be consuming, and we're not eating enough seeded fruits. We're sitting here consuming fruit that is GMO, has no seeds, not realizing that the seeds is part of the nutritional value, and it's also part of the natural design that it has. So if a fruit or a vegetable does not have, or a fruit does not have seeds, because vegetables don't have seeds, but if a fruit does not have the seeds that it's supposed to, then that means it is genetically modified, and there is something genetically off with that, and you shouldn't be consuming it. Like, you have to understand. And if you don't know, I've done some research also into GMOs and understanding, because people love to argue all the time that there is nothing wrong with GMOs, and that's just not true, because we are the first generation to have GMOs completely through our life. And so we have to look and see what is going on with society. And things are getting worse far as illnesses and diseases. Autism's at an all-time high, ADD's at an all-time high, like all of these things. And we know that it's been linked to food dye, but that's not the only thing, because everybody is becoming aware of food dye and things like that. But there are so many toxic things that we put inside of our lifestyle. You can't just name it onto that one thing. And so, excuse me, you have to look at the big picture. And so as we take an observation of what's going on in society and what's happening, we start to realize that they are literally sitting here poisoning us, and we're feeding into it because we're fitting in this little box that they say that is normal, because that's what they tell us to do. And that's what we do because we don't question anything. But it's time for us to start questioning and to make that commitment to ourselves that we are going to take the steps that are going to support us in being healthy. And so that looks like you, one, sitting here getting all the free content that I give you. Two, educating yourself, whether it's you sitting there doing research and studying like I do, or you educating yourself and understanding what's going on with you by buying into anything that I have. I have plenty of products that can support you, finding you a mentor, finding you an accountability partner, finding you someone that can support you through this lifestyle. And I didn't make my point earlier that I completely forgot about. And excuse my mom yelling. My dog is getting on everybody's nerves, but I wish she would stop yelling. We have to understand. Mama, please stop yelling. But we have to understand that, and I didn't make my point earlier, that GMOs are literally to the point where we don't even realize or recognize that they're poisoning us, because there's been studies that have come out and they have said, and I have done research, the fact that GMOs are feeding cancer cells. They activate some kind of cell inside of our body that our body basically does not know how to fight off. And so instead of it being eaten by the good cells, overcome by the good cells, it just kind of vibes with them in a way. And so, in that, when you're consuming a whole bunch of GMOs, you are feeding the toxicity inside of your body, which leads you to feeding cancer. And when you're feeding cancer inside of your body, as we know, because if your body is sitting there in a state that it's supposed to, which is healing, it won't be feeding cancer. But as your body is feeding cancer with the toxic foods that you're eating, whether it's GMOs, it's you eating toxic ingredients, you are sitting there literally making yourself sick, and it's going to show up in the form of cancer. And so we have to understand that if we are going to sit here be consuming any kind of way, then we are poisoning ourselves and we're leading ourselves to having cancer. So is that what you want for yourself? Do you want to sit here and lead yourself to having cancer? Or do you want to support your body in healing like it should because it's a healing vessel? Like, that is the choices that you make are leading you. Your choices have consequences, whether it's a good choice or a bad choice. So you are leading yourself to developing cancer by consuming and not knowing what you're doing to your body. And if you know that you don't have enough time to be doing all the research that I do, if you know that you consume any kind of way and you have no idea where to start, I'm telling you, I am the person to be able to support you because I've been doing research since 2020, and I only see things getting worse. I don't see them getting any better. Like, the way that it's projected, we started with GMO pigs, we started with GMO cows, then we did cows and chickens, and then they started doing it where you can consume them now, and then now they have the law where they don't even have to tell you when it's in your fast food or any other food that you're consuming. So it's like, you have to realize that there's an agenda. There's always an agenda. These things aren't just rolled out just because we don't have enough food. It's scarcity. Because in reality, if you look outside, we have all this greenery and no vegetation. If we were really struggling and sitting here with no food, and we were sitting here not having enough food to consume, they would start telling everybody that we have to start farming in our own yards. They would start telling us to be able to support ourselves at home. But in reality, we have all these associations that tell us that we can't make gardens on our yard. We have all of these places that tell us that we are not allowed to plant fruits there. We're not allowed to have vegetables there. They're chopping down vegetation if you plant it out in public. And so you have to realize there is a reason behind it. They're doing this stuff on purpose. And so looking out in the world and seeing how much greenery is out there, and they're telling us that we have a shortage of food, is literally laughable, because you have to realize that if there was truly a shortage of food the way that they are telling us, then they would have incentives for people starting their own gardens. They would have incentives for people to be able to feed themselves at home, so that they wouldn't have to mass produce all these animals, so they wouldn't have to make GMOs and all these things. But they realize that if people start growing their own gardens from seeded fruits like they're supposed to, and start eating the way that they're supposed to, which is eating their fruits and vegetables as much as possible, as majority of their meals, people would start healing. People would stop going to the doctor as much. They would lose out on money far as grocery stores, far as people eating meats. They would lose out on money for fast food. There were so many different corporations and so many businesses that would be affected if they just sit there and they say that we are no longer going to have access in the grocery store, that we are having incentives only for us to start growing our gardens. They would never do that for us. In reality, they'd rather us sit here and starve or eat GMOs. And that's by 2030. I'm telling you, by 2030, that's where we're going to be at. Where they're going to sit there and they're going to be like, if you're not sitting here eating GMOs, if you're not sitting here consuming that the way that they want to, which is you eating a bunch of toxic junk, eating a bunch of GMOs, sitting here eating a whole bunch of non-food items that are giving you no nutrition. Because if you are nourished, we have to realize this, if you're nourished, if you are nourished, you're going to be mentally stable. You're going to be able to discern. You're going to be able to sit there and make the healthy choices that you need for yourself mentally. But if you are sitting here malnourished, like majority of society is, what are we doing right now? People are on tons of anti-anxiety medications. They're on antidepressants. They're sitting here on all these medications for diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. You're sitting here taking all these cancer treatments that are literally making you almost unalive on this earth because it eats up all your good cells. And so you have to look at it and realize that there is money in sickness. There's no money in you being healthy. There's only money in the sickness. And so when people start healing and they're no longer sick, they are not making enough money. And since they're not making enough money, they are sitting here trying to find new ways, or they're making plenty of money now, but if they're not going to make enough money, they're going to keep trying to find new ways to make you sick. And you are consuming unawareably because you don't know how to take care of your body. And so you don't even realize that they're just finding new ways to poison you. But if you start to take care of yourself, like I have, because I was in the space that you were before, but once you start taking care of yourself and you realize that they're poisoning you, one, and then two, you start to realize that your body can feel vibrant, it can feel good, you can feel energetic, you can look good. And then on top of that, like, you'll know that you're healing and supporting yourself so that you feel mentally clear. Your gut will be balanced, your systems will be working in the way that they should. You won't be sitting there running back and forth from the to the doctor when now, later on in life, whenever, because you know how to get yourself to a healthy space. Now, I'm not saying don't go to the doctor, that's not what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that you won't have to depend on these corporations that are making you sick in order for you to be healthy, because you're not healthy. You're not. And majority of society is not, and they know that, and they don't even know what to do about it. And then when they ask, they're not giving solutions, they're just giving band-aids. These doctors give you band-aids, they don't give you solutions, they don't give you healing, they give you band-aids. And so making that commitment to yourself to take those steps is how you get to that space of accepting, becoming aware, and committing to yourself. And then that's when transformation happens for you. That's when your lifestyle starts to shift. And so through that shifting for yourself looks like you sitting there and setting your mindset on what you want for yourself, setting goals for yourself, and shifting your mind to realize that this is a positive experience and not a negative one, that there is no lack in this lifestyle. You're not going to be hungry, you're not going to be sitting here, without the foods that you love, because I literally have made everything that I loved back before I was plant-based in a plant-based form, and it tastes the same. And like, I've shared it with family members who are not living the lifestyle that I do, and they enjoy the food that I do. And so you have to understand that it's just about you educating yourself, becoming aware, and wanting that transformation for yourself. And so you have to shift your mindset to avoid you sitting here putting a negative connotation on the lifestyle, sitting here thinking it's going to be diet culture, because this is not a diet, this is a lifestyle change. There is no amount of diet culture that is going to support you in being healthy. We look at diet culture and you can see if people are sitting here, doing these diets and all of these things, and you're sitting here feeding into diet culture, you have to realize that diet culture doesn't work. You look at these people that do diet culture and what they do it for months on end, and then as soon as you do it for these months on end, you're looking at them and they quit doing it, and within a month they gain the weight back. Within a month and a half they might have gained more weight. Like, you look and you're like, where did it go? Like, you did all of that work, you spent all of that money, you did all of these things, and it didn't even work for you. And so you have to realize that, like, where are we going to draw the line? Where are we going to sit here and be like, you know what? This is not working for us. This is not working for me. And if you feel like that you don't know how to mindfully consume, if you feel like you don't know where to start, if you feel like that you maybe understand how to read your labels, you maybe understand how to start the lifestyle, then, you can always DM me. You can always send me a chat and we can talk about it. You can always leave me a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube later, you can leave me a comment on my YouTube, and understand that you're not alone in this lifestyle. You're not alone in learning how to switch. You're not alone. There's community everywhere, and you don't have to look far, because at first I didn't really, fall into it, because I was following the vegan community. I didn't even understand it. When I was following the vegan community, I saw a whole lot of things that I did not like. And I am not vegan. I make that clear on every single live that I try to make that clear. I'm not vegan. I am plant-based. There are two different things. And I have a video on my page. If you have not seen it on my TikTok, go check it out. That explains the difference between being vegan and being plant-based. And the same thing on my YouTube. I think I have a whole I think it was one of my videos that was talking about the common misconceptions with going plant-based or something like that. But understanding the difference, because I know what I'm consuming and I understand toxic ingredients, and I take care of the animals too. Vegans don't really care about all that. They just care about the fact that they want to take care of the environment and the animals. They don't care about taking care of themselves. But how can you care for something else if you can't even care for yourself and take care of yourself? That's just point blank period, in my opinion. And so we have to understand that awareness is one in our ACT strategy. Awareness, commitment, and our third our third and final part is transformation. So if you want transformation, it starts with you activating the lifestyle. It starts with you, after you set that goal, after you get in the mindset, you taking action. that it's time for you to sit there and activate the lifestyle. Take action by investing in yourself and investing in resources and tools that are going to educate you and understanding the healthy journey that you want for yourself and knowing how to get to the space. And like I said, oh, okay. I was like, and like I said, I'm at the spec. Can everybody hear me? Can you put a one in the chat if you can hear me? Or, oh, a one is fine. Just put a one in the chat if you can hear me. My thing said that my connection was kind of bad. And I want to make sure that everybody can hear me so I can keep going. If you can hear me and you're just joining, please put a one in the chat for me to make sure that I am still connected and I'm good so I can continue. Or you can also tap the screen if you're in here and you're just watching. You can tap the screen. I think that we're good. Are we good, y'all? I don't know. My connection's been a little spotty today. It cut off on my iPad at one point. And if you wonder what I'm looking at my notes on my iPad. Oh no, I hope y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? I hope y'all can. I don't know if I can see this little poll. I put a poll up here. Okay, I can. I was like, I put a poll up here. I don't know if I can see it. Okay, y'all can hear me. People are joining back in. Okay, so that's the third and final in our ACT or ACT strategy is transformation. And so you're activating that lifestyle. You're taking action and supporting yourself and taking action by investing in resources and tools so that educates you to understanding the healthy lifestyle that you deserve and that you want for yourself and knowing how to support yourself. And so like I said, for instance, if you're going to sit here and educate yourself like I did and do research on in, because it does take time, but it's not impossible. You can do that for yourself. Or you can invest back into yourself and buy into the many services that I have for yourself, for you to support you and get the strategy that you need. And I can support you in doing these things. You can always shoot me a DM if you have any questions about anything that you need specifically. I have so much free content on YouTube. I have so much free content on here. Like, there are many different things for you to understand that they are poisoning you, and it's time for you to make a shift in your health to support yourself. And so change starts with you developing new habits, having new practices that are going to support you and staying in the lifestyle so that you don't sit here and fall back into old habit patterns, fall back into old ways, or do this as a momentary diet culture thing, because it's not diet culture. That's not what we're focusing on, because diet culture does not support you. We are sitting here trying to just promote overall wellness and understand how to get ourselves into the healthiest state that we can be, and to understand how to reset ourselves and release the toxins that are inside our body. Because if you have never done an actual cleanse for yourself, as far as fruits and vegetables, a reset for yourself with fruits and vegetables, and you still consume meat, you still consume these things like dairy, you're still sitting there consuming decaying meats, because that's what meat is, you are not supporting your insides and completely detoxifying. You have to understand that. And especially if you eat meat every single day, because we know what meat does. Meat decays, meat rots. And so if your systems are not working at the full function that they should be, if your systems are not sitting here at full functioning capacity like they should be, because your gut biome's off, your intestinal system is off, your colon is full, like, you have to understand that that meat is backed up inside of you. And the one thing that feeds off of meat like no other are parasites. And parasites are toxic to the body. They increase your inflammation inside of your body. Is the reason why a majority of people are sitting out here with all these gut and intestinal issues and gut issues and digestive issues, and not sitting there dealing with these parasites are leading you to being toxic on the inside. They're feeding off of the toxic crap inside of you and breeding more and more. And that's how you lead yourself to having diseases. Because like I said, inflammation leads you to disease, and disease leads you to cancer. So you have to understand that you are not supporting yourself, and it's time for you to make a shift and make a change, because you have been fooled by these my plates, these food pyramids, by these people who are sitting here telling you that it's okay to consume any kind of way, that this is something that you should be doing because this is in the little box of normal. This is what has been approved by these people who have these higher titles, these people who pay these doctors to tell you that it's okay to consume this way. You have to understand that they are fooling you, because they paid these doctors to approve milk to be called as strong bones. They pay these people, and then they get their backing on it, and they sell out just for some money. And then you believe it because they tell you and slap a title on it that says that this doctor approved, this nutritionist approved. But these people were paid to tell you this. And so you have to realize that there is an agenda to make you sick. And it's time for you to shift away from that agenda. And so through you understanding how to transform your lifestyle, you will sit there and you will step into the transformation of your lifestyle through prioritizing your health and prioritizing you be energetic and prioritize your life being vibrant. Because if you're sitting here struggling with anxiety, you have no mental clarity, you're sitting here having issues with depression. Because I was at that space, more likely than not, your gut is not being supported because your gut and your brain are directly connected. And so when your gut and your brain are connected, if your gut is off, your brain is off. If your brain is off, your gut is off. And so we have to realize that there is a reason why these people are walking around here anxious and depressed. There's a reason why so many people are on antidepressants and some type of anxiety medication. They're sitting here going back and forth to the doctor, sitting here going, having panic attacks. They're going to having to go to therapists for all the anxiety that they're having, not realizing that literally it's stemming from the food that they're having. That might not be the only issue that you're having, but I guarantee you, if you try and you switch out the food that you are consuming for at least, let's say, a month, and you switch it out and you see, not saying do a diet culture, but just switch it out and start reading your labels and stop eating the crap that has terrible ingredients, you'll see the shift that it does for your lifestyle. You'll see the shift that it has on you mentally, the shift it has on your digestive system, and you'll realize that they are poisoning you and they're making you this way for a reason. And so it's time for you to make a shift. And so that is the end of my strategy. I said that it was going to be a quick one for y'all today. If you have any questions now, I'm going to take questions for the next couple of minutes while I'm still on here. Any plant-based, any healthy lifestyle, healthy habit questions that you have, drop them in the comments. And like I said, always don't forget to check out my YouTube, any of my social medias. I'm here on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You can check those out. All of my free content, all my long form free content is on YouTube. All my short form is here on TikTok. And all of my lives that I have had previously are posted on my YouTube if you have missed any of my lives, or if you just want to catch up, if you want to check out my Purge the Poison series, if you want to check out my plant-based mastery series, all of them are posted on my YouTube. And for anybody that is just joining, I am taking questions right now. What are your questions about living a plant-based lifestyle, a healthier lifestyle, healthier habits, any of those? Do you have any issues going on inside of your body, any hormone imbalances, any PCOS, if you have any like heart disease, if you have high blood pressure, if you have gut issues, what's going on with you guys? I want to take your questions. What is going on? What do you have for me? And if not, I'm going to hop off and I'm going to probably find me something to eat in the fridge before I head out. But I truly hope that I have supported you today, and I hope that this has sparked something in you for you to realize that these people are not supporting us and that they are literally having an agenda to poison us, and there's a reason behind it. There's a reason, which is always a dollar sign, and they treat you like a dollar sign and a consumer rather as a person. So I'm not seeing any questions. So I guess this is time that I'm going to hop off. And like I said, all of my DMs are always open on all my socials. And I truly, truly hope that you have an amazing